Hey, Chris. Thank you for the question. I think I deserve your vote because we hit it off immediately in this game. We connected and vibed on day one. We talked every single night for the most part, and that never changed throughout the course of the game. So I did want to go to the end with you, and I truly felt that you wanted to go to the end with me. Um, and with Jesse's game, I wanted people to think that he had all this control. But really, I feel like if anything, I had more control over Jesse's game than he did over mine because I was getting way more information from him than what I was giving back in return. My strategy that I did for myself in every single alliance that I was in was to always like give just enough, be active just enough to make them trust me and make them feel okay and good with me, but to never, never overshare and to never really show my true cards. Even Curtis and Jesse didn't know how close I was with RNG and how close I was with Amy and how good I felt with Puffin and how good I felt with you, Chris. So by doing that, I was really to mask my game. And that was my strategy that I did for myself like throughout this game. And I think it helped bring me here to the end without having to do all of the extra, without all of the extra dirty work, because I was still getting all of the information and it helped me. And so you can say that Jesse had, or people can say that like Jesse had like this control over me. And that was exactly what I wanted them to think. I wanted people to think that Jesse and Curtis were these big players so that I could paint the threat on them and so that I could be further protected by not just them, because I knew I was protected by them, but so I could be protected by people that were outside of that as well. And Chris, and like I knew, I really felt like I had you and you had me. So that just further helped my position in the game because again, I felt like you would have brought me to the end and I felt like Jesse would have brought me to the end. So either way, despite of losing the final HOH, I would have made it to the end and been able to make my case and to really show and to really express like what I did in this game and what my real strategy was. And yeah, like I always downplayed like everything about my game, and that was a solid strategy that really kept me going, and I think it really ensured that there were always bigger threats than me in this game. And the way I positioned myself from beginning to end was to get here to the end. And I think I positioned myself not perfectly, but I think I positioned myself really, really well in this game through, making those connections, me being really close with you, Chris. Chris, you knew that I was that I was already not completely loyal to Jesse and Curtis before I even cut Curtis. And that was my way of like subtly, I know I didn't tell you everything that I was a part of and like what I was really doing in the game, but I was trying to subtly tell you beforehand, by painting the idea that Jesse and Curtis were this very strong duo and that they were much closer, and that they are in all these alliances with everyone else. So those were some of the things that I did for myself to make sure that I was to get myself here, and to downplay that because I didn't want Jesse and Curtis to know about all those individual relationships that I was working on to get them to target them over me, or to make sure that I was safe in all aspects.